Hong Kong began a massive cleanup on Monday after Typhoon Mangkhut raked the city, shredding trees and bringing damaging floods, in a trail of destruction that left dozens dead in the Philippines and millions evacuated in southern China. The death toll in the Philippines, where the main island of Luzon was mauled with fierce winds and rain, rose to 65 overnight as rescuers pulled more bodies from a huge landslide in the mountain town of Itogon. Office workers stand in front of mangled metal and boarding that fell from a collapsed ceiling in a passageway under a commercial building a day after Typhoon Mangkhut hit Hong Kong on Sunday. Photo, Anthony Wallace, AFP. The landslide buried an emergency shelter which was being used by miners and their families in the town. No one has yet been pulled alive from the rubble, and relatives of those buried are taking part in the rescue efforts, the town's mayor Victoria Palangdon told AFP. National Police spokesman Senior Superintendent Benigno Durana said 43 other people are missing, and more than 155,000 people remain in evacuation centers 2 days after the typhoon struck. Farms across northern Luzon, which produces much of the nation's rice and corn, were sitting under muddy floodwater, their crops ruined just a month before harvest. After tearing through Luzon and pummeling Hong Kong and Macau, the storm made landfall in mainland China late Sunday, with 2 reported dead in Guangdong province. Embed from Getty Images. Authorities there said they had evacuated more than 3 million people and ordered tens of thousands of fishing boats back to port before the arrival of what Chinese media had dubbed the King of Storms. In the high-rise city of Hong Kong, the government described the damage as severe and extensive, with more than 300 people injured in Mangkhut, which triggered the maximum T10 typhoon alert. The monumental task of cleaning up the city began as residents, some in suits and ties, struggled to get back to work on roads that remained blocked by felled trees, mud and debris. Schools were closed, bus services halted, and travel disruption saw commuters piling onto platforms trying to board infrequent trains after trees fell on overhead lines. Landslides and severe flooding affected some areas, with over 1,500 residents seeking refuge in temporary shelters overnight. Flood and debris. The storm, with gusts of more than 230 kilometers per hour, 142 miles per hour, sent buildings swaying and water surging into homes and shopping malls in Hong Kong, with some roads waist-deep in water. Embed from Getty Images. Windows in tower blocks and skyscrapers were smashed as people cowered inside. In the neighborhood of Hang Fei Chuan, thousands of rocks and pebbles from the sea-covered parkland along the coastline which had been battered by waves. Low-lying fishing villages were also badly affected after seawater swept through. Streets in the seaside village of Layu Moon were covered in debris and glass as residents picked their way through. The city's main Victoria Park had become an obstacle course, with hundreds of trees down and many completely uprooted. Emergency teams were sawing apart some of the biggest trees blocking roads and pathways across the city in a cleanup operation that is likely to take days. In the neighboring gambling enclave of Macau, all 42 casinos shut down for the first time in its history as the storm approached. Embed from Getty Images. They opened again on Monday, but Macau was still in recovery mode after severe flooding hit parts of the city, forcing emergency workers to rescue people from their shops and homes using boats and jet skis. As the storm moved past the enclave Sunday, streets became submerged under water gushing in from the harbor. On Monday morning, shopkeepers were hosing down their stores which had been left caked in mud after the flood waters receded. People were attempting to dry out cupboards and electrical appliances on the streets as police and volunteers helped with the clear-up. The government and casinos took extra measures ahead of the storm, determined to avoid a repeat of Typhoon Hado, which battered Macau last year, killing 12 people and drawing accusations the city was ill-prepared.